Welcome to Cell Simplified. Today we're going to talk about the search and find formulas. Search and find are used to identify where within a cell a string of characters starts. They're practically the same formula, except that search is not case sensitive, while find is case sensitive. The main two parts of these formulas are one, to identify the string of characters that we're searching for, and two, to identify where we're searching at for that string of characters. Although there is kind of a macro and a micro level to that. We'll talk about that more later. So in cell C3, I have identified through some very scientific internet research some things that people report commonly losing on the internet. And we're going to search here in cell C3. And let's start by searching for the word marbles. So in A3, we're going to type equals search, open parenthesis. And then we're going to type the word marbles in quotation marks because it's a static string of text in close quotation marks. And then we separate our parts of the formula with commas. And next we're going to type the cell that we're searching in, which is C3, comma. And then let's go ahead and type one not A, and a close parenthesis, and we'll talk more about what that one means later on. We'll hit enter. And so we can see we're getting the value of 15. And so how Excel calculates that is that it looks in cell C3 and it starts counting from the left all of the characters until it gets to the first character of our search string. And so in this case, the M in marbles is the first character in that string where Excel found a match. And so there are 4 characters in mind, a space, 4 in mojo, a space, 3 in way, a space, and then that M is the 15th character. Now let's go ahead and create a find formula, except instead of using a static text string, let's go ahead and use a cell reference instead. So before we start in cell B1, let's go ahead and type the word marbles. We'll hit enter a couple of times, and now we'll start our find formula by typing equals find, open parenthesis, and then we're going to reference cell B1, comma, and then we're still going to search in cell C3, comma, and then we'll go ahead and type our 1 and close parenthesis, and the 1 is identifying where, as far as the character count in cell C3, we want to start searching for this word. So when we put 1 in, that just means, hey, I want to go ahead and start at the very front of this cell with the very first character. So let's go ahead and hit enter. And so we can see we're getting an error message, and that's because the capitalization in cell B1 does not match the capitalization of the word marbles in cell C3. So let's go ahead and update cell B1 to reference a capital M in marbles. And now we can see that we're getting the same value in A3 and B3. So 15th character is where the word marbles starts. So let's go ahead and update B1 to use the word mind. So this is what we're searching for now. And our find formula is now returning character 1. And that's because mind is the very first word in this cell. But we can see mind is actually in this cell twice. And so if we wanted to skip over the first version of the word mind, or the first copy of the word mind, we could use a increased reference here. So we could say, let's go ahead and reference 15, which is where the word marbles is, and let's just say we're going to start checking from there. And so now we can see we're getting the value of 36. And so the M in the word mind at the end of this cell is character 36 in this cell. And just to go ahead and demonstrate, we can actually use a cell reference instead of using a static number here. So we could reference actually A3. And so now we can see we're still getting that value of 36, which is identifying the second copy of the word mind. And so this isn't a super realistic scenario. I just wanted to make a clear demonstration. However, some other scenarios we may look at are, for instance, a sign-up list here. And this is a list where people are entering their own names in a kind of informal setting. And so people get a little crazy with their capitalization sometimes. And so it's not standardized. So this is maybe an example where you would want to use search instead of find because the capitalization is not standardized. However, if we look over here at a list of orders in column B, we can see use of the word cases, but the C is lowercase, and we can also see the reference to the word or the phrase per case. However, that is capitalized. So this may be a good example of where we would want to use find instead of search because we have a difference in capitalization with two words that are very similar spellings. We may cover some more complicated examples later on in future videos, but I hope you found this helpful. Subscribe, like, and comment below if there's anything else that you would like to see us cover. Thanks.